all these Tubin jokes. You guys are hilarious. Yeah, the whole Tubin thing. I wasn't going to talk about it, but maybe I should because it's kind of funny, right? I mean, this dude... You know what's funny? I was actually just reading this hilarious article. I wasn't going to talk about it because I think it's kind of just not worthy of my time, but my goodness, everyone's making jokes about it. So I have to talk about it. This is this is hilarious. All right, so if you don't know what was going on, this dude, he got caught wanking it in a Zoom meeting, all right? This Jeffrey Toobin guy, all right? Now, this is embarrassing to say the least. My goodness. Yeah, you know what? Let's. I got this. I was reading this article, and this is the funniest thing about this whole Toobin thing. They're trying to defend him. They're trying to make it seem as if he was wronged somehow. Look at this article. Look at this. Jeffrey Toobin's stroke of misfortune. All right. Right off the bat, they nailed it with the pun. I don't even know if they meant to nail that pun so perfectly. All right, but it is so good. All right, listen to this though. He is not the first journalist to get overexcited about a coop porn. Coop porn? I don't even know what kind of porn that is. Listen to this. Jeffrey Toobin is a man much wronged. What? On Monday, the New Yorker writer was suspended by the magazine for which he's written for 2 decades and took a leave of absence from CNN, where he's served as legal affairs analyst since 2002. What possible sin could he have committed that forced these pillars of the media establishment to sideline a bona fide star? With the presidential election less than 2 weeks away and Team Joe Biden needing every hand on deck? I'm sorry, needing every hand on deck. I wonder if this is satire. I don't know. It seems like they're really, the funny thing is, this kind of talk is prevalent all over the place. All right. This isn't just satire. There's people that are actually trying to defend this guy. I'm going to keep reading, though, because it's so funny. All right, so here explains it. Toobin masturbated during a Zoom video conference in which he and his colleagues were fantasizing about forcibly removing Donald Trump from office and throwing him in jail. In other words, Toobin is being punished for having the precise response that the exercise was designed to elicit. I can't keep a straight face. Oh my goodness. So even BuzzFeed, hold on, I gotta pull this up. Twitter, BuzzFeed Politics on Twitter, I wrote, I of course responded because I thought it was hilarious. Where is it? So they're basically saying like, how dare, like, come on, he's not the only one. Jeff Toobin can't be the only person masturbating on work Zoom calls. What? That's your argument? They're trying to. How hasn't this happened already? Really, BuzzFeed News? You know what? No. I'm not even care about you, BuzzFeed. I just said breaking news. BuzzFeed masturbates on Zoom calls because that's the only conclusion I get for people that are trying to defend this guy. What? No, it's hilarious. Dude, you're in a Zoom meeting. You're supposed to be professional. You're not supposed to whip out your thing and start dang-a-linging on your dang-a-ling, your Toobin. Now everyone, he literally coined a phrase. People are saying you're Toobin on the Zoom meeting. You're Toobin or Zoomin. I don't know what sort of thing they've got going on now, but they're floating around. And dude, I don't feel bad for you. You whipped out your thing and started playing with it. You're supposed to be professional. What the hell are you thinking, man? Sorry for dropping that H-bomb. I don't even know if YouTube wants me to talk about that or not, but it is crazy. Come on. What are you doing, man? And then people are actually trying to defend this guy. All right, so a bunch of people were making Me Too, hashtag Me Toobin. Right, that's thanks, chat. That's going around right now. I just don't understand. How are people feeling bad for this guy at all? I don't feel bad for him. Dude, you're unprofessional. I don't respect people that aren't professional. You don't do that kind of thing. You don't you don't pull out, you don't pull your pants down. I think he was like buck naked, like he took his shirt off. I don't even know. I didn't actually see the video. I'll be honest, I didn't look that hard. I just saw a bunch of people talking about it on Twitter over the past day or two. So it's been hilarious. And I just, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Tubin, what were you thinking, man? You got too excited? Is that what it was? This Spectator magazine. I don't know what the Spectator here. This is ridiculous. It seems like a legitimate magazine. I don't know if this is satire or not. It's not news guarded, so I don't know if it's by official, Tim Pool ratings. NewsGuard is basically what he goes by, but I mean, this seems pretty. I don't know. I don't think this is satire. It seems like it's all actual articles, and then we get to this one, which is just ridiculous. Stroke of misfortune. Come on. Seriously? Tubin says he didn't know his colleagues could see him when he pulled out his penis last week during an election simulation held by the New Yorker and WNYC Radio in preparation for November 3rd. The two media organizations were playing out various scenarios of what likely to happen the first Tuesday in November and after. New Yorker staff writers were cast as principal players. Biden was played by Evan Osnos, Trump by Masha Gessen, Jane Meyer dressed up as establishment Republicans. Clearly, any election role-playing game would have parts for the candidates and their parties. But why fill roles for the U.S. military and the courts performed by Tubin himself? Because it was a coup scenario. What happens if Trump fails to respect the outcome of an election and the New Yorker and other standard bearers of the liberty or liberal order have already decided in favor of Biden? Answer: when the courts rule in favor of the Democratic Party, lawyers litigating every district lost by Biden, and Trump locks himself in the White House bunker, the Pentagon will order the same SEAL team that killed Osama bin Laden to frog march the orange man in an orange jumpsuit out of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue to the steady applause of a grateful nation. This is ridiculous. This is seriously what they think. They think that they've spun it. I say they, and obviously the people that believe this is going to happen, that they're actually going to win. I don't think they're going to win at all. I think it's going to be a landslide. All the polls that everyone keeps talking about don't reflect all the incredible amount of new registered Republican voters. Look at Pennsylvania. They're beating out. There's more Republican. I think it's up 22% more Republican voters now than there ever has been. Like, there's just been an uptick. And that's not just in Pennsylvania. That's in Ohio. That's in California even. California, there's a huge uptick of Republican voters all across the states. That's happening. So this is weird. This is some weird. Jeffrey Tubin, you are into the wrong stuff. Good sir, or I don't know if I'll just call you a sir now because you kind of lost that the good part anyway. They try buffing you up like you've been a part of this establishment for 20 years, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe you shouldn't be part of that anymore. All right, so that's I wasn't gonna do that story. I kind of just I felt like maybe I should just talk about it because you guys are all talking about it when I went live, just because I don't know, wasn't live exactly at 6:30, but that's okay. It's funny. Nice one. Hashtag me Tubin. Okay. All right. So let's get on to the real subjects that I was going to be talking about. And it's interesting because a lot of chat was saying that they didn't see my stream. They were like, whoa, what's going on? Normally it pops up whenever I set it up to go live. And of course, I was talking about the Department of Justice coming down on against Google. Check this out. This is from the Department of Justice. Statement of the Attorney General on the announcement of civil antitrust lawsuit against Google. This is pretty huge, okay? This morning, the Department of Justice, along with 11 states, filed a civil lawsuit against Google for unlawful maintaining a monopoly in general search services and search advertising in violation of the U.S. antitrust laws. This is a monumental case for the Department of Justice and, more importantly, for the American consumer. This is crazy. So they're bringing the hammer down against Google. Now, I don't know if Google's probably, from what people were talking about a lot of people were normally, people hang out before my show starts and I chat with them a little bit. And it did seem like a lot of people were less active today. And I was like, it could be anything. I don't like to be the like, oh my God, you see them all the time. Like, oh man, my followers or my views are down. It's like, they fluctuate, that's fine. But whenever every single person was sitting there talking about, hey, where is everybody? This is weird. I'm like, this is weird. And the beginning of my video is DoJ versus Google. And it's like, makes you think a little bit. I don't know, but it is interesting that this just happened today, so today, millions of Americans rely on the internet and online platforms for their daily lives. For years, there have been broad bipartisan concerns about business practices leading to massive concentrations of economic power in our digital economy. Hearing those concerns, I have made a primary commitment of my tenure as Attorney General for the Department of Justice to examine whether technology markets have been deprived of free, fair, and open competition. I think we all know the answer to that question, Mr. Barr. It's pretty obvious. They absolutely have a monopoly over it. Think about it. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Twitter now censors BitChute. You can't post BitChute links anymore without them censoring it. Who's competition? Parler for Twitter? Who's competition for Facebook? I don't even know if there is. YouTube it would be BitChute would be the first thing I could think of, but they're shutting it down. This is from the BBC. You don't see it on the mainstream medias here, right? Check this out. Google hit by landmark competition lawsuit in U.S. over search engines. Check this out. The U.S. government has filed charges against Google, accusing the company of violating competition laws to preserve its monopoly over internet searches and online advertising. The lawsuit marks the biggest challenge brought by U.S. regulators against a major tech company in years. It follows more than a year of investigation and comes as the biggest tech firms face intense scrutiny for their practices at home and abroad. Now, Google calls this case deeply flawed. The company maintains its sector remains intensely competitive and its practices put customers first. Quote, people use Google because they choose to, not because they're forced to or because they can't find alternative, it said. Now, I found that interesting, and now just, going through my Twitter feed and doing my research and finding different things about this, I found an interesting, this is from Ryan Hartwig. This is page 45 of the claim filed by the Department of Justice. Now, I didn't go through all of it myself, but thank you, Ryan, for finding this. Check this out. This is how Google locks up search distribution on Android. They basically require pre-installed Google apps, including Search app on the home screen, required pre-installed default browser, Chrome, or non-Chrome with Google set as the default search, Google Assistant as exclusive voice assistant, home button must activate Google Assistant, Google is set as exclusive search on the main -1 screen, often found by swiping right from the home screen, Google as exclusive search bar, the widget that's right on your phone that you can just search, and other search access points such as smart keyboards and default to Google search. So that's just an Android phone. Pull up an Android phone. That's it. It's all Google. That's what they go for. So they already kind of have a monopoly. It's not like you're giving them a choice. They're required, it says. Required pre-installed default browser is Chrome. Google Chrome, for those who don't know. And it's pretty intense. Now Google here fires back after filing a long-awaited antitrust suit. They kind of quoted it a little bit, saying that it was deeply flawed. Today's lawsuit is more important antitrust case in the generation. This is from Josh Howley. Google and its fellow big tech monopolies exercise unprecedented power over the lives of ordinary Americans, controlling everything from the news we read to the security of our most personal information, Howley says. And Google, in particular, has gathered and maintained that power through illegal means. House Antitrust Subcommittee Chairman David Sicilian said in a lawsuit is long overdue. quote, the subcommittee's investigation uncovered intensive evidence showing that Google maintained and extended its monopoly to harm competition, Sicilian said in a statement. It is critical that the Justice Department lawsuit focuses on Google's monopolization of search and search advertising while also targeting the anti-competition or competitive business practices Google is using to leverage this monopoly into other areas such as maps, browsers, video, and voice assistants. In its suit, justice lawyers allege that Google uses its dominance in the online search field to stunt competition. For years, Google has entered into exclusionary agreements, including type arrangements, and engaged in anti-competitive conduct to lock up distribution channels and block rivals, according to the suit. American consumers are forced to accept Google's policies, privacy practices, and the use of personal data, and new companies with innovative business models cannot emerge from Google's long shadow, the suit states. For the sake of American consumers, advertisers, and all companies now reliant on the internet economy, the time has come to stop Google's anti-competitive conduct and restore competition. Woo! Sorry if that was a little loud, but my goodness. So Google, Google's everywhere. Google Meetups, Google everything, Gmail, like all the things. You get a computer, it's all Google. And, Google is I don't even know if it comes preloaded on Apple phones because it's been a while and I use DuckDuck search engine myself. So, I do have Google on my computer, but even here, I keep my personal stuff when I'm searching the web for myself, and then when I'm showing you all stuff, because I know from experience, if you search stuff, all of your ads become catered to you. You can watch Tim's videos and you can see skate ramps when he's ordering skate ramps or whatever he's looking at. It shows up. People have told me for months, like, hey, you should tell Tim. And I told Tim, and he even knows it. It's like, I don't even, you'd think it would be more of a big deal for him, but I guess it isn't. But, Google takes your info, gives it to the advertisers. They present you with the ads. People, we've been talking about it for so long. I said something, and all of a sudden my phone, had been giving me these ads. I scroll through Instagram, and all of a sudden I get all these ads for camping stuff because I was thinking about camping. But I didn't even talk about it. That's because the algorithms follow every single thing you do, everything you look at, every single thing that you do on the internet. They've got it, and they're using it, and they're selling their data, your data, to the highest bidder. And that's what this is about. It's about the American consumers. They're forced to accept all of this. We don't know what it is. Anyway, it's scary. And this is, I think it's all coming down. This is all kind of happening. So Google, we'll see. What's going to happen from this? I don't know. Google's super powerful. Google will probably be like, sorry, we'll prove that, that's not the case. Now, are they going to be able to do that? I don't know. Do you think so? I don't know. Everyone's saying spin it. I'll spin it for you guys. This is for you, chat. All right, so while I'm spinning this, do me a favor. Smash that like button. Smash. Look, blood has been spilt this day. This is from the new skate ramp downstairs. You tend to bruise the elbows up. I don't know what's going on with this elbow. Do I got something on there? Yeah, I got a little something. Yeah, it's fun. If you haven't seen Tim's new skate ramp down in the basement of this new spot, it's amazing. And, I spilled some blood today. Worth it, though. Totally worth it. But seriously, smash that like button. Smash the like button. It really helps my channel out because it shows YouTube that you guys like me. And it shows me that you guys like me. I appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button down below. You can click that to make it no longer red. Make gray it out, if you will. And then you can hit the bell to know when I go live, which is 6:30 to 8 Monday through Friday. You could check out my channel here. And you can also become a member if you'd like. That also helps my channel grow and shows me that you guys appreciate me. So I thank you for that. Now I'm gonna kind of stay along the same subject line here because this is interesting. The subject matter was political Facebook, and I have this report from Breitbart. Check this out. Facebook successfully suppressed reach of New York Post Biden bombshell by half. They cut it in half. They didn't want people reading about this. They didn't want people knowing about this. Why? Because it's 2 weeks from the election, and it's really, really bad for Joe Biden because it shows a lot of dirty stuff that basically implicates him working through Hunter, through the back channels to influence political decision-making overseas. Like, this is messed up. This is the reason that they took for the debate that's happening on Thursday. This is a reason why they took off the foreign affairs segment. Well, because they were just going to talk about Joe Biden being terrible at foreign affairs. They can't have him talking about any of this stuff. They need to avoid it at all costs. That's why he put a lid on doing anything until the debate. Joe Biden is trying to run for president, and he's running away from scrutiny. No. You need to be able to handle scrutiny. That's why I respect Donald Trump. That man can handle scrutiny. He looks at it and says, bring it on. That's why he even said, he's like, I know it's a trap. I know that they're biased against me, but I'm still going to go do it. Props, Mr. President. I salute you. Seriously, it's amazing. So, yeah, anyway, so Facebook has successfully suppressed it. Not really surprising. This is a recent study by the social media engagement tracking firm Newswhip found that the New York Post's recent bombshell story on Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and their alleged deal with Burisma had its reach cut in half by Facebook compared to anti-Trump stories from other publications. This stands in stark contrast to Twitter's efforts to censor the story, which actually doubled the attention it received, according to the MIT Technology Review. Yeah. The Streisand effect, is that right? I think that's what it is. The Streisand effect, where you try to hide something, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, "Why are they trying to hide that?" I now want to know what that is. What's going on with it? Oh, it's actually legitimate. They're not even denying it. They're just trying to say that, yeah, we don't like that kind of stuff being shown. You mean you're not even saying that it's false? You're just trying to keep it down because it looks bad? Everyone's going to look at it because they want to know. Like, all right, why are you trying to hide it? Why are you trying to get rid of this? It's ridiculous. Man, Facebook. All right. Now, this came up the other day. The Senate panel delays vote to subpoena Twitter, Facebook CEOs as some Republicans waver. Why? Why are they waiting? We have seen that they have actually tried to suppress this story. We're finding out the story is not false. It's actually true. There's a hard line between Hunter Biden directly to the pipeline of whoever had the laptops. No one had it. It went from Biden straight to the shop that was going to fix it, and then right to the FBI. No one else had it between those two, three spots. So the direct line to the FBI, they know that it wasn't, messed with at all. So we see that this stuff is actually happening. Now I'm seeing all these videos or these pictures that are editing the pictures like, oh man, the one with the pipe in his mouth is fake. Look, this is the real one right here. And it's clearly edited. It's like they clearly edited the pipe out of the picture. It looks worse without the pipe. Like they literally made it worse. It's funny. I have 1776 viewers right now. I don't know. I felt rather patriotic to say that. And well, now we have more. Well, I'm grateful, but it was kind of a cool moment. So anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Check this out. Now, Zuckerberg claims Facebook will restrict less content after the U.S. elections. Oh, okay. So you're openly admitting that you are suppressing stories that hurt Joe Biden while letting the anti-Trump stories run rampant, even if they're totally debunked and false. It doesn't matter. Just let them go because they're anti-Trump. But then after the elections, yeah, whatever, we'll stop censoring as much because it won't matter at that point. We're only trying to influence the elections. That's essentially what I'm seeing here. That's what you're trying to do, Zuckerberg. So you're openly admitting it now. So I'm going to go back to this one. As Republicans waver. Why? We're seeing this over and over and over again, that they're actually trying to manipulate our elections. They're openly admitting it now. Twitter's banning people that are out of their out of the narrative. You know, if there's someone's not fitting the narrative, they're cutting him off. You know, Philip Anderson, he's a threat to them. They cut him off. He's banned from Facebook, banned from Instagram, banned from Twitter right after he just got his teeth knocked out for holding a free speech rally, got knocked out by a Black Lives Matter activist, knocked his front teeth out. He himself is a black man in this country. Now, I don't like bringing up the subject of race because I don't think that it should be a subject talked about. But that's literally what they're out fighting for. And they're attacking their own on their standards is what I'm saying. According to them, they're fighting for Black Lives Matter, and yet they're attacking their own. So these are the kind of stories, boom, they kick them off Twitter. You know, I honestly thought Twitter might ban me because I started a GoFundMe, and I'll talk about that later. I've got some stuff about Philip, but this is about Twitter. Like, I thought they were going to ban me because they banned Philip, and I was like, man, I'm openly supporting Philip right here. I'm posting all of his stuff. He had a video of him sitting in the hospital bed, holding one of his front teeth, looking and asking Joe Biden, "Hey, Joe Biden, Antifa just knocked out my teeth. Are they still just an idea, huh, Joe Biden?" He's got a good question. That is a good question right there, because Joe Biden, hey, listen, an idea doesn't knock someone's teeth out. Antifa is openly attacking people. They want to burn the system down. You have yet to condemn them. Everyone keeps asking Donald Trump, what about this white supremacy stuff? What white supremacy? The only supremacy I see is the Black Lives Matter movement trying to convince people that white people feel like they're supremacists, which isn't the case. We talked about this with Chandler yesterday. Super bright young man. If you haven't checked out the video, check it out. I posted a bunch of them yesterday. Incredible. But he even said, he's like, I don't need Black Lives Matter to, convince me that my life matters. I know my life matters. So this narrative that Philip was showing, like, hey, look, I am directly against what you're trying to say, banned him outright. They're openly admitting to manipulating our elections, manipulating what we see on social media, and yet the Republicans waver. Why? Why is this? Now, not all Republicans. We got, who is it? Ted Cruz. He chairs the Judiciary Subcommittee on the Constitution, told reporters he's expecting the committee to hear testimony from both Dorsey and Zuckerberg shortly, whether they come willingly or not. All right, Ted Cruz, I'll give it up to you. You're not giving up so easily. I respect that. But not everybody is. It says here, not everybody is sold. Judiciary staff has indicated internally that the plans for the vote were delayed in part due to some GOP panel members wavering on whether to support the action, according to one Senate GOP aide who spoke anonymously to discuss private negotiations. Republican officials have also expressed trepidation about how quickly the committee is moved to a vote on the subpoenas. The aide said a committee spokesperson did not immediately offer comment on the matter. Come on. This is getting ridiculous. We got to bring these people to heel. They're clearly manipulating everything. You know what? Even just showing up and just talking about it, what is that going to bring? Tim Pool talked about this the other day. He's like, nothing's going to happen from this. They're going to show up. They're going to do nothing. They're going to, if at worst, get a slap on the wrist. Same with Google, Facebook, Twitter, all these people. They have too much power, too much influence, and not enough people talking about it. Not enough people coming out and speaking against them, going, you are wrong. It pisses me off. And you know what? That's a good segue, because I want to talk about this man. If you guys don't know who this is, his name is Philip Anderson. I want to say that again. His name is Philip Anderson. I'm so sick, and you know what? I know he is. He talks about this a lot. Stop just saying a black man attacked. Look, first thing I've got on this. Black man attacked by leftist radicals in the U.S. This is from Brazil, this article. Now, they altered this article. It didn't say black man. It just simply said man. When I first read this article, I was like, all right. It just said man attacked by leftist radicals in the U.S. Here's a picture. This is right after it gets hit by this guy the first time. Hit him in the side of the face with what looks like carbon knuckles. Okay. And then, of course, they left the rest of the article normal. Man was attacked during participation in protest in favor of freedom of expression. Now, that's how you write it. He's just a man. His name's Philip Anderson. He's a man. We don't need to bring the race into this. Black lives do not seem to matter or to be important to the members of movements aligned to the far left of the United States. Man, they said it right there. Another clear example of this was recorded last Saturday in San Francisco, California. A demonstration in favor of free speech needed to be canceled after leftist radicals from Antifa and Black Lives Matter promoted new scenes of violence. Images circulating on social media shows the event's organizer, Philip Anderson, being brutally beaten by extremists. And then this is from Drew Hernandez. They were constantly calling him the N-word, causing him to flee the area, and he got his front teeth. Now, I've talked about this a while. Yeah, he got his front teeth knocked out. So the reason I'm bringing this up, here's another. This is the image of him in the hospital or on his way to the hospital. BLM activist charged with hate crime over assault of a black conservative in San Francisco. And that's why I'm bringing this up. So they got the guy. They arrested the man who broke out Philip's teeth, and he happens to be a Black Lives Matter activist. Has been arrested and charged with hate crime related assault after allegedly, well, not allegedly, we saw it happen, knocking out a black conservative's activist's teeth out in an unprovoked attack at a free speech rally in San Francisco. On Saturday, the San Francisco Police Department responded to a report of an assault near City Hall at a conservative organized protest against big tech. What have we been talking about over the past 20 minutes? Oh yeah, big tech. Censoring, manipulating elections, showing you what you can see, what you can't see. Philip Anderson has been organizing for a long time. You know, Philip Anderson was actually, he's from Texas, mind you, all right, flew out to Portland just to stand in front of those Antifa members trying to burn down that courthouse. That's when I first saw his videos going up. They went viral, and as soon as they went viral, disappeared. He got banned. He got booted off of Twitter literally during an episode of Timcast IRL when I brought him up. I pulled up his Twitter account. I saw his Twitter account. I said, wow, because people were telling me to check him out. And I brought it up. I was talking about it. And then I actually brought it up an hour later because someone I think maybe super chatted about it, and I was like, oh yeah, bring up his Twitter account. I went back to his Twitter account and it was banned in the hour that I had looked at it. So this dude he's being removed because he is breaking the narrative of what they don't want you to see this kind of thing, that these people exist, people that prove that they're not oppressed. He straight up stood in front of all these people saying, this is not what we want. Stop trying to burn down the system. You know, I'm a black man too, and my life matters. I don't need you to convince me that my life matters. And I was just thinking to myself, props. Philip he is a freaking champion of free speech and values that all Americans should have. So when this happened to him over the weekend, I was just like, I'm thinking to myself, man, like, how can I help him? Now, I actually started a Kickstarter, which I'll bring up in a second because they actually talk about this. So this is so they bring up 35-year-old Dro Anderson of Watsonville, California, was taken into custody in Oakland the day after the assault and transported to San Francisco County Jail, where he was booked on charges of mayhem with a hate crime enhancement. He and Philip share the same surname but are not related. His bail is set at $110,000. This is him right here. Androa lists himself as an artist and graphic designer. I don't care about this dude. I'm not going to freaking shout him out. Look, here's him swearing. There's a bunch of swears, burning a Blue Lives Matter, the thin blue line flag, clearly, caught in the anti-everything. Now, this is a quote from Philip. I hold no grudge against him. He's been brainwashed, says Philip. He says Antifa rioters physically blocked attendees from going to his rally on Saturday. This is the kind of man Philip is. I don't hold a grudge against him. Knocked out his front teeth, and he's not holding a grudge. How many of you could say that? If someone blindly hates you, caught you off guard while you're trying to help someone get through a crowd to help promote free speech at your event, and they knock out your front teeth, to turn and say, look, I hold no grudge against him. I just think he's brainwashed. This is the kind of man Philip is. Now, I spoke to him yesterday on the phone at length, and even spoke to his dad. Both of them are, they're smart. Philip is bold, but man, and it even says here, a GoFundMe was for his medical costs has so far raised $29,000. It is crazy how much it is now. Look, $32,000. Let's see if it's $32,662. It is beyond me that this has been raised this much. Here's him. I cut this picture from the video from him talking to Joe Biden. Like, look, he's holding his tooth. Like, see, what about how are they an idea, Joe Biden? How is an idea going to knock my teeth out? Now, of course, it's even worse because it wasn't Antifa. It was a Black Lives Matter activist. He openly talks about being a Black Lives Matter activist. Here's him at a Black Lives Matter rally. Now, look, if you want to rally and peacefully protest, that's fine. Peacefully protest. But then when you have people that are proving your narrative wrong, that blatantly show that your message is actually not accurate, and you try to beat them up, you call them the N-word, this is ridiculous. Chandler, 16-year-old, was saying he didn't even face discrimination until he came out as a Trump supporter. And then people were calling him, the N-word with the hard R. Like, that's ridiculous. So these people on the left, they're the ones that have these supremacist issues. They're the ones saying, if you're not on our side, which is the right side, you are wrong, and we're going to beat you up. We're going to call you names. We're going to knock out your front teeth. This is ridiculous. And this is all because of manipulation from these big tech companies. Yes, I'm talking to you, Google. Whatever. If my stream gets cut, it happens, but I can't not talk about this stuff. This is serious. The media is manipulating everybody, trying to spin with everyone's emotions. The conservative party, the conservative group of Americans, which I'm finding out is an awful lot of Americans. There's a reason why Trump won the presidency. And yeah, okay, the popular vote, sure. But we've got, a huge group of populace in California and New York and all these blue areas. But that's why the Electoral College is a thing, because they can't just make all the decisions because you have all the people. There's people all across. It's the United States, not the two states rule them all. All right. It's the United States. All right. We all have equal say. That's why the Electoral College is a thing. That's why there's 2 members of Congress. And that's why the system is the way it is. Okay. Anyway, shout out to Philip. This guy, straight up, this is what he did, right? I said, hey, man, I raised this money for you. And he goes, thank you so much. Would you mind if I fix my teeth and use the extra money to host more free speech rallies? Philip, would I mind? Of course I don't mind. Philip, I'm talking to you directly. I don't know if you watch my show. I know he's rather busy this week, especially after what just happened. It's all yours, buddy. Every single dollar is going to you. You host free speech. You are a patriot. A lot of the reason it got as big as it did is because people saw you standing up for what they believe is right, okay? Which is free speech. It's our First Amendment, the first one, freedom of speech. We got to be able to be free. Reform 230. Online censorship is getting way out of hand. So Google, your monopoly is, you've got eyes on you. Facebook, Twitter, people are watching you, okay? You guys are getting bold, way too bold. Now, I'm just one man with a YouTube channel. That's all I can do. I talk about it. I'm going to vote for sure. I mean, I can't do anything about voting for Google, but I don't have to have Google on my phone. Oh, funny enough, I've got all these texts from Philip right now. Just saying what's up to me. All right, let's go up. Let's see what he's got here. Of course, it's a bunch of pictures of people sharing his stuff that are being claimed as false information. They want him gone because he is proving their narrative wrong. All right, so that's that. I want to get into some cooler things. Now, if you didn't know about this happened today, an hour ago. What time is it now? 7:10. 1 hour ago, the human race landed on an asteroid and collected samples of an asteroid and took off. This is awesome. All right. If this NASA spacecraft can avoid Mount Doom, it might nab a bit of an asteroid. Now, this was written the other day, yesterday. Here's the asteroid. All right. This is Bennu, asteroid Bennu. It's composed of 12 images. So they just, put them together. A NASA spacecraft, if all goes well, will soon touch down briefly on a skyscraper-sized asteroid 200 million miles away in order to collect a small amount of rock and dust that can be then returned to Earth. The probe, called Osiris Rex, is about the size of a 15-passenger van, and it needs to land for just 5 to 10 seconds on a specific spot inside a boulder-strewn crater. The maneuver on Tuesday will be tricky and fraught with peril as the spacecraft tries to reach a safe area that's only the size of a few parking spaces. It's up to fate and a little bit of luck at this point as to how the sampling event goes, says Dante Loretta of the University of Arizona, the principal investigator for the mission. He says he feels anxious but does yoga to calm his nerves. I'm highly confident that the spacecraft will remain safe. My biggest concern is that it will not make it down to the surface of the asteroid. The spinning top-shaped asteroid named Bennu is one of close to 1 million known asteroids in our solar system. Scientists want to study it in part to improve our planetary defenses against potentially dangerous space rocks. Bennu, for example, has a small chance of striking Earth someday. Our most recent calculation suggests that it has a 1 in 2,700 chance, says Loretta. The good news is such an impact would not occur for at least 150 years, and part of the Osiris-Rex mission is to better understand that impact probability. Scientists also want to study asteroids like this one because they're thought to be near pristine time capsules, leftover bits from early solar systems that have gone, our solar system that have gone undisturbed for billions of years. Asteroids are relics of the earliest material that formed the planets, says Lori Glaze, director of NASA's Planetary Science Division. They hold key information to unlocking our understanding of how the solar system was formed and how it evolved. This will be NASA's first attempt to collect a sample from an asteroid and bring it back to Earth, but others have tried it before. Japan's space agency has a spacecraft that's currently on its way home with a small amount of material taken from the asteroid Ryugu. It should arrive in December. Oh, that's really interesting. I actually didn't even know about that. That's pretty cool. There are some key differences, says Loretta. He explains that NASA's rock collection equipment can hold onto a larger sample, while Japan's probe might bring home just tens of milligrams of material. Osiris-Rex is capable of collecting up to 2 kilograms, or almost 4.5 pounds. Osiris-Rex launched in 2016 and has been orbiting the asteroid since 2018. As soon as it arrived there, scientists got a close-up look at this space object and realized that Bennu was nothing like they thought. They expected the surface to be relatively smooth and covered with fine-grained materials like sand. Instead, they saw boulders everywhere. When I first saw the rugged surface of asteroid Bennu, I knew we were in for a real challenge, says Loretta. The team spent a year mapping the asteroid in exquisite detail, finally settling on 2 craters where it looked possible to touch down, a primary target named Nightingale and backup site named Osprey. The spacecraft did low flybys to get high-resolution imagery in order to build 3D maps that could be used on its onboard navigation. In April and August, the probe did 2 rehearsals, dipping down as close to about 130 feet above the asteroid's surface. The first real attempt to collect rock and dust will happen in Nightingale, with the spacecraft departing from orbit around 1:50 p.m. on Tuesday, Eastern Time on Tuesday. The trip to the surface should take about 4.5 hours, and it's full of hazards. All right, so that's cool. And now I want to get into what actually happened. Check this out. Here's an actual rendering of essentially the spacecraft. This is in the location. Nightingale is located near Bennu's North Pole, and the sampling area is about the size of 3 parking spaces. I practiced my aim a lot because I'll be targeting on such a small spot today. So this is the spacecraft, and that is the size that they found. Imagine hitting that spot 200 million miles away, and they were able to hit that spot. It's pretty amazing. Now, this is actually, it's like the device that's actually going to touch the ground and collect the spots. It says, once my collector head contacts Bennu's surface, I'll fire a charge of pressurized nitrogen to agitate and lift the material. The material is then caught in a collector head. After this brief touch, I'll fire my thrusters and back away from the surface. Now, I watched this live, and it always gets me when, these people live their lives for these missions. Let me see if I can pull this up, actually. I retweeted it, so it shouldn't be too hard. So NASA, these people live their lives for years, checking on the instruments, checking the code, making sure the thing's ready. Now, we heard that they were mapping Bennu for a year to find out the parking lot spot, 3 parked cars size spot, 200 million miles away. They have to land and collect. It takes 10 seconds. For only 10 seconds, they got to land, get the stuff and bounce out. It's crazy. So when I saw them all, they all roar and cheer, and they're clapping and they're crying, and they're, there's something so exciting about seeing that. Always, it's, it reminds me of when Elon Musk first shot a rocket out into space, and you see him run out and just look at it with his own eyes and see that rocket, going into the atmosphere, past into space. There's something so exciting about that. I mean, at least for me, I love space. I love the idea of exploring space. I've always been, I was a Star Trek fan. I was a Star Wars fan. To me, they're both awesome. Arguably, some can say that they have lessened throughout the years, but that's neither here nor there. But this is exciting. This is a huge step for humans. Like, we are now able to land on an asteroid and bring stuff back and analyze it and see what it's about, see what's on, what makeup of these asteroids are. I don't know how exactly that data can be used to understand if it's going to hit us. I think that's just more understanding trajectory and, where the asteroid's going. But this is all really exciting stuff for me. I'm super excited about it. And it's really cool. Let me see. I think I have. Oh, yeah. Here is them celebrating. This is it right here. We're going in. Touchdown declared. Sampling is in progress. This is that moment. Let me see. Yeah, this is the moment when everyone, you could just see them cheering as soon as it happens. There it is. Boom. This is what I'm talking about. That excitement that they finally, they launched 4 years ago. 2 years ago, they realized it was going to be way harder than they expected it to be. Mapped it for a year, plotting for a year now to make sure that they were going to be able to hit this one little tiny spot 200 million miles away. Nailed it. So props to the Osiris Rex team over at NASA. Really proud of you all. This is really huge. I'm stoked as just a regular civilian looking out from a distance. I am very excited for you all. Yeah. So let's see here. Now this is a little different. I just want to bring this up because it's kind of cool. The Orionid. I think I'm gonna go with Orionid. The meteor shower peaks tonight. Here's how to see it. You just go outside. Get off social media. Get off technology. Go outside. Go drive to a dark area if you live in a city. Just go look up. All right, go look up. There's a meteor shower tonight. It's very cool. And actually, if you're lucky, you can actually see some. Let me read it. Halley's Comet. Now you can't see Halley's Comet. That's another 4 decades from now. But there's bits of it. Let's see here. Bright streaks across the sky that people may see from now until early November are bits and pieces from Halley's Comet. Although the comet won't be visible from Earth again until about another 4 decades from now, it leaves behind a debris path in the solar system. Each year during mid-October, the Earth passes through this field. Our planet also passes through another part of this debris field in early May, resulting in the ETA Aquariid meteor shower. The Orionid meteors are known for their speed because they travel at about 148,000 miles an hour into Earth's atmosphere, according to NASA. The meteor shower gets its name from its radiant, which is the point in the sky from which the streaks appear to emanate. The Orionid radiant is located near the constellation Orion, of course, the hunter next to the warrior's lifted arm. Very cool. Now, that's all I really had to say about that. I just wanted to let everybody know. There's a meteor shower. Meteor showers are awesome. You know, you think about, we know what they are, right? But back in the day, hundreds of, just 5,000 years ago, I don't know if they knew what they were. They probably thought they were some message from the god. Someone's probably, worshiping something and going, man, please give me a sign that I'm doing the right thing. And you look up and there's just a huge streak. It's like, oh, wow, that's a sign that I needed. And it's probably your own bias, too. Give me a sign that this is the wrong thing to do. Shoo! It's the wrong thing to do. Or give me a sign that this is the right thing to do. Shoo! I mean, obviously they don't make sounds. Or, I mean, maybe they do, actually. If you're, I have seen videos of, big comets that are, well, not comets, but, meteorites that are coming in and actually make it through. And, you see them strike. I've seen some videos that are in Russia, some other places. But, yeah, it's really interesting. I don't know. I really like it. So check it out. And, yeah. So listen, do me a favor. I think you know what I want you to do. Smash. Spill the blood on the skate ramp. Smash that like button. I need you to smash it like there's no tomorrow. There will be a tomorrow, but smash it like there's no tomorrow anyway. Yes. It's funny. That reminds me of Neil deGrasse Tyson says, there's a chance an asteroid's going to hit before the election. And NASA's like, no, it's not. No, sorry, no, everybody. Although it's 1 in like 5,000 chance or something that it could come in contact with Earth's atmosphere, but it's not big enough anyway to make it through. It'll just burn up anyway. So if it does hit, sorry for all those people that are, voting for Meteor 2020. I don't think you're going to get your way. All right, let's read some super chats, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. Let's see. Let me get back up to the top. Mark Robershaw, of course, first says Trump needs to let Biden talk and dig his own pit. I agree. A lot of people were actually saying that Trump was saving Biden many times by cutting him off and, keeping him from rambling. Now, I'll be honest. I've been known to ramble. I'm a rambler myself sometimes. Now, albeit, at least I am coherent, and I have a place I'm going with it, whereas Biden kind of dwindles. And I think that's actually kind of why Tim and I worked so well together when we were working together, because I'm very emotional and I'm like raw, and he's very focused, so he kind of keeps me back on track, which helps me get to my point better and quicker, and then I, of course, I don't know what anyway, that's the past. Chef du jour says, hey Adam, a Halloween-esque question to ponder. Jason Voorhees died as a child, so how did he grow into the ferocious serial killer we all know? That is a good question, although I don't know the answer. I don't really watch a lot of horror films. Not that I'm afraid or anything, it's just they're so cheesy. I just can't handle the cheese, the poor decision making, the bad decisions that everyone seems to make. Ugh. It's so frustrating to me. I can't watch it. I'm logical, and that's it. I'm very logical. As soon as I see illogical things, I'm just annoyed. And if I'm annoyed while watching a movie, I'm not enjoying myself. I don't want to be annoyed at the screen. I don't want to be annoyed and have it take me out and think about the speechwriter, or not the speechwriter, the script writer who wrote it a certain way to make someone stupid to go off and get killed. It's just so bad. So, I don't know. Mark Robichaud again says, I bet Trump has the biggest and best deck. Okay. The man behind the screen says, real talk. Funny as Toobin getting caught, Toobin is, we all know if he weren't a never Trumper, he'd have been fired instead of suspended. Wait, he wasn't fired? Actually, he was just suspended? Oh my gosh. Really? He didn't get fired for this? See, that's ridiculous. I think you're right, Oz. You're right. They definitely would have fired him if he was a Trump supporter. Absolutely. But he's a never Trumper. And that's why even in that article, they say Biden needs all hands on deck. Enough with the puns. Mark Robichaud again says, nope, I already read that one. Samuel Williams, the founding father, finally caught you alive. If you like Tom McDonald, check out Adam Calhoun. You can thank me later on tomorrow's show. I have checked him out. You know, and he's not bad. He's not my style though. Something about Tom McDonald's music really is incredible because I feel that it's its own genre. He's not a classic rapper. He's not a hip hop artist. He's his own genre. Hangover Gang. Shout out Hangover Gang. You know, I got his new albums coming on the way, but I don't know. Something about Tom McDonald's music is very unique in a sense that it's its own. A lot of people there's a lot of haters out there, and I think they're just upset that he coined a new style. I mean, sure, he's got more classic sounding songs. You dig back into his earlier albums, especially when he started working heavily with Nova, and they started writing some really incredible music. And it is just, you know, the hooks that she brings in, but the style that it portrays is very unique in a musical sense too. So I don't know. I really like their style a lot. So. And, you know, I've checked out Adam. You know, he's a good artist. No mistaking that. Just not exactly my style. Mark Robichaud says, MAGA, make masturbating great again. Mather-baiting. Whatever. That's MMGA, not MAGA. So I don't know where you're at there. Mark, again, says he's just proving he's a tosser. I guess so. All Metal Mike says, great show last night, Adam. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. This is a long-time super chatter from Timcast RL, for sure. Appreciate it. Great seeing you. Man of Culture says, hey, Adam, I've had to search you out around 3:30 avocado time for about a week now. I get used to consistent notifications of you going live. Maybe it has something to do with the title that I have this night, you know? DoJ versus Google, political Facebook, justice for Philip, like all these real right up to the edge of things that they are. Should we get rid of him? Should we not get rid of him? You know, he's not hostile, but he's calling us out. I don't know what's in store for me, but I'm going to keep doing me because, you know, the truth needs to be talked about. The man behind the screen again says, main competition for Facebook's probably Minds. Good point. That's true. Minds is probably Facebook's competition. I didn't really think about Minds, but it's open free software. I know Ian's all about that, and you know he even helped create Minds. William McClanahan says, I use DuckDuckGo. Also, right on. Yep, so do I. Mark Robichaud, Google is owned by the people who built the pyramids. Okay, cool, Mark. Again, he says, Hunter Biden is on the board of Google. You are just spicy tonight, Mark. Again, Mark says, is your super move Destructo UFO disc? No. I'll keep this UFO thing spinning. All right, so speaking of UFOs, I don't know if you all know who Dr. Greer is. He is one of the top UFOologists in America. He's going to be on my show. I don't have a date yet, but I am very excited to announce that I have Dr. Greer, and I actually have had someone hit me up on Twitter who helped me connect with him. You know what? I'm going to bring up his name just to give him a shout out because I really do appreciate this connection. Michael Mazzola. I really do appreciate that. That was so shout out to Michael. Thanks for introducing me to Dr. Greer. Really excited. It's going to be really excited. I mean, obviously, UFO. I mean, it's kind of great. I'm gonna talk to one of the top UFOologists, and we're gonna talk about UFOs. We're gonna talk about aliens. So I'm very excited, very, very excited about that. So yeah, thank you very much, Michael, for introducing us and connecting me with Dr. Greer. So I'm very excited about that. No date yet, but hopefully soon. He's a very busy guy, as you can imagine. Let's see here. Samuel Williams, the founding father, says, Brave browser, a must for privacy. Google pays Apple millions to be default search, but you can easily change it in settings on iPhone and Mac, thankfully. See, there you go. So, yeah, see, I was talking about Android, and because I wasn't really sure about Apple. It's not surprising that they pay millions to be default search on all Apple devices. Of course they do. Mark Robichaud says, sad to see Tim beat you up in the skate ramp. No, I beat myself up on the skate ramp. Angela says, the DoJ needs to go after Facebook too for trying to throw an election. I agree with you, Angela. You're absolutely right. They are clearly meddling in our elections. Get out of there. Free speech. You can't pick and choose, especially when your employees are clearly biased against Trump and for Democrats. It's clear. They did a study. I think it was like 80% of all donations that came from anyone that worked in those companies went to Democrats. Aaron Behringer says, there's a bit of money for elbow pads. Thank you. Don't be unsafe. We want to be able to hear you as long as possible. I also have information on a certain somebody. Hashtag I didn't kill myself. Mark Robertshaw says, I would like to be reincarnated as a slime. Okay. I hope you get all of your wishes and desires, Mark. Leonardo says, hey, Adam, have you heard about what the ATF has been doing to infringe our 2A rights in regards to the Honey Badger pistol and the SB4 AR pistol brace? I don't. But now that you mentioned some 2A rights, tomorrow I have a gun expert joining my show. He goes by Control Pew on Twitter. Now, he is basically an advocate for 3D printing guns. We're going to talk about 3D printing guns, the future of 2A, guns in general. I know he's a gun nut. He loves guns. So we're going to be talking guns all tomorrow on my episode. It's going to be really fun. I know a little bit about guns. I have some experience myself shooting guns. I've shot a couple different types of guns in my past a few different times. And I'm looking to get my own gun as well. So I'm going to be talking to him, Control Pew on Twitter. And it's going to be really good. So we're going to have a nice, awesome conversation about guns. So maybe I'll look into that and bring that up. So thank you, Leonardo. I am going to remember that. The man behind the screen again says they're not attacking. They're not attacking their own. Like Chandler said yesterday, they don't claim minorities who aren't on board with them, making them free game. Good point, Oz. That's a good point. So yeah, we're going to be, I guess they weren't attacking their own because that's how they see it. If you're not in their group, you're outside and you're the enemy. Anybody who's not on there is the enemy. So yeah, Mark Robershaw again says, make Overlord great again. Moga. All right. Who's the Overlord? Anyway, the man behind the screen. Oz, you're on fire tonight. Such are the sick mind of radical ideologies or ideologues. You're absolutely right. Yep. My funeral drag. Black teeth matter. But for real, just saw the actual photo. Wow, that's brutal. Keep up the good work, Adam. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. LGD says, watch Phillips' speech after he was punched. It's on my channel if you want to pull it up. Easy, raw footage. Yeah, I've seen it many times. For those who want to see it, I'm sure you can find it. It's out there. Mark Robertshaw, again, of course, you're my biggest super chatter. Help, I'm being oppressed. Thanks for that. Matches Burn says, check out character Adam Smasher in Cyberpunk 2077. Is there a character called Adam Smasher on Cyberpunk 2077? I like him already. I don't know who it is, but I am going to be streaming Cyberpunk 2077. Oh, you actually can't see the spot. Maybe I'll have to adjust my camera. So I'm going to have my PS5 sitting right over here. Yeah, why is the camera so shifted? I didn't even notice that, but You used to be able to see my little soy Jesus thing. Anyway, I'll fix that. But I'm going to have my PS5 here, and I'm going to be streaming Cyberpunk 2077. I'm really excited about that. Also, Demon's Souls. And so this is an exciting week, too. Thursday, I've got Karlin Borisenko joining me again. Friday, I've got one of my childhood friends, Josh, flying up from Florida. He's going to hang out for the weekend. He's going to join me on my show Friday. We're going to talk about the crazy stuff we've been through. We lived in New York for a while, and we have some crazy stories. We're going to talk about that. We'll probably talk about some other stuff, political things. And we're going to be building on my Twitch channel Friday night his computer. You can't see it, but I've got a box full of computer stuff that is just a beautiful computer ready to go. So we're going to be putting that together Friday night. Really excited about it. Mark Robershaw says, Naruto did with that pain he took the high road. All right. Right on. I don't know what we were talking about at the time, but cool. Nichols and Lemons says, words are violence to them. So by their own logic, the entire summer has been violent to them. Yeah, probably. Death Ride says, Shazam, Adam. I think Big Tech has a mask off because if the boss gets reelected, they are screwed either way, so they might as well go full auto censor. Whereas if Hayden Joe gets the nod, they face no repercussions. That was a super chat. I was just reading a super chat. All right, Google. All right, YouTube. All right, look, that was just a super chat. I was just reading it. Now, I happen to agree with that super chat. Awesome. Alex says, Adam, keep doing amazing work. Thank you. Just a message about private companies. Conservatives, don't be afraid to use the government to conservate our values. Right on. I mean, speaking up for our values is the reason why Philip got punched in the face and got his teeth knocked out. He is absolutely on the front lines of freedom of speech. He got punched in the face for freedom, literally. Shout out to Philip. His name was Philip Anderson. Jeremy says, Osiris Rex is my hero. I know, isn't that really exciting? Mark Robershaw says, that's no asteroid, it's a space station. Nice, Star Wars. Leonardo says, the asteroid landing was faked on an asteroid. Oh my gosh, here it starts. JT says, donated to Philip and now super chatting with you for setting that up. Thank you so much, JT. Need to keep voices like Philip's out there doing their thing. I 100% agree with you. Not Your Problem says, did you see Masvidal endorsing Trump, MMA champ? It's a pretty cool video. You should check it out. I did see Masvidal endorsing Trump, and I mean, there's pictures of Trump Jr. hanging out with him. I mean, Masvidal he's a beast as well. And I don't blame him. I support Trump myself. Let's see. The Gray Gamer says, watch Joji run a song after the stream. Let us know what you think, and I'll tell you a secret about him. Watch Joji run. It's a song. Oh, Joji Run. Oh, okay. Joji Run. I'll check that out after the. Let me just write that down. Okay, yeah, Joji Run. I'll check that out. Scientists land that needle in a haystack spot from millions of miles away remotely, and I still see 5 cars parking over the line at the store, shaking my head. Oh, man. People don't know how to park, and they don't know how to return their carts either. It is embarrassing. My goodness. Let's see. Oh, I had a little super chat jump. Give me a second. Easy E says, oh, no, I just read that one. Joshua says, aunt and deceased grandma in Erie received phony ballots in the mail with POTUS picture on it. Courthouse confirmed they never sent anything. Heard anything like this? No, but Joshua, if you have the chance, take some pictures and send them to me at adamcastirl@gmail.com. I would love to look at those and see what that's about. Mark Robichaud again says, the galaxy is on Orion's belt. You're just, bringing all these movie references. Men in Black. I got you. I see it. Mark Robichaud says, blood for the blood god. Skulls for the skull throne. Yeah, I saw that meme floating around my Discord. I don't know what it means, though. It looked like a Warhammer 40K something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Antonia says, hey, Adam, when will the Mikey Harlow and Bryson Gray with his dad come, or when will they be coming back on the show? Man, shout out to Mikey Harlow and Bryson Gray, both incredible guests. If either of you are watching, you are absolutely welcome back. I would actually love to have, honestly, both of you back on the show and to just talk about what Trump has done and why he's actually a good president. So you know what? I'm gonna reach out to both of them after the show and really get that going. I would like to maybe set that up for next week. That would be awesome. Unar says breaking news on Google from Project Veritas on ad blocking. Oh, Project Veritas is always spicy with it. Oz says Tim might be requisitioning the ramp, but you've christened it with blood. That makes it yours by right of blood spilt. All praise the Adam ramp. Thank you, Oz. I appreciate it. You're right. It is mine by blood right. Lucas Parada says social media was the way to battle mainstream media, and now I guess we need to communicate with cans and strings. Yeah, maybe. Mark Robertshuk says, my bad, the word is censored, but yeah, MMGA. Yeah, right on. I got you. Matt Fields, check out Marcus King, killer singer and guitar player. I don't know who that is, but I will check out Marcus King. Let me just, Marcus King. Yeah, I will check him out. Thank you. Adam's usually long-sleeved shirts. What? We ain't good enough for you tonight? Oh, these random inanimate objects that come to life to super chat me are very nice. But I needed to show off the blood spilt, and my awesome line tattoo. No, that's not true. But J+1 says, hey, Adam, longtime watcher of yours, as well as Tim and Lydia. Appreciate what you do. Have you considered adding a Tic Tac UFO to your display? A Tic Tac UFO. I don't know what that is, but I will spin the UFO for your longtime viewership. I appreciate you. Jeremy Wine says, red shirt lives matter. Star Trek reference. Mark Robershaw says, Joe Biden knows you can't just shoot the leg. Yeah, that was the stupidest thing he's ever said. Why can't you just shoot him in the leg? Yeah, because center mass, man. You start aiming for the small bits, you're going to miss. This guy's clueless. Awake Not Woke says, awesome show as always, brother. You really seem to be finding your groove, Emperor. Also, let's officially make Tubin a verb. Hashtag Lubin Tubin. Corn flakes. I don't even know what that means. Spelled all sorts of weird. Malcolm McKee says, please check out Beard Blather on YouTube sometimes. Well, why? Did you notice my delicious beard that I've been growing? What do you guys think? It's not bad, right? I know. I'm quite proud of this here beard of mine. I've never actually grown a full beard. I've gotten beardy before. I call this getting beardy. Like, it's not really a full beard, but I do feel it's past the itchy stage, which is, wonderful. It's wonderful. Because once it's past the itchy phase, it's like, whatever, I can keep growing it. Adam's tattoo line, breaking super chat, says, I want to be red instead of black. Well, you could shut your mouth. This line actually used to be a really thin line that I just had a tattoo artist just straight up blindly just go down my arm. And I actually lost some of the tattoo in a skateboarding accident. You can't really see the scar. It's kind of grown over, but it's this. I lost all of the skin right here, and when it scabbed over, when it was healing, it was so deep that when it healed, there was little bits of black in the scab, and I'm like, what are these little bits of black? And I they were on the surface of the scab, like kind of falling off the scab. It was weird. It's like my body pushed it out, and I picked it up and I was like, this is weird, and tossed it. And then once it fully healed, I was missing like a huge chunk of the line. And I was like, oh my gosh, I actually like gotten an accident deep enough to lose much of my tattoo line. So then for my birthday, I actually got gifted this from Gnostic Tattoo in Brooklyn, New York. I don't know if you know, but it was by an artist. Her name is Maggie. She's an incredible line artist. She did a killer job on my line. Look at that line. It's so good. Anyway, really happy about it. Let's see. Mark Robershaw again says, oh, actually, excuse me. We've got a new member here. Cristiano. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Mark Robershaw says, do you have lucid dreams? I have lucid dreams. I don't have lucid dreams. It would be cool, but I don't. Chuck Morris says, under Adam's beard is another fist. How did you know? Let's see, Bryce Johnson says, UFO spin counter development is underway. Check Twitter DMs from Tuskiomi for info. Ooh. Ooh, really? So you're actually going to figure out a way. Is it going to be some sort of physical thing, or I'm really curious, because that's cool. If we can actually get like and actually have it on screen, like a UFO spinning counter, like how many times it's actually spun. Because I mean, it's going to be kind of crazy to see it skyrocket in the amount of spins, because that thing's just going. It's just going. That's cool. Laughing Eye says, have you thought about doing a deep dive on the history of Halloween for Halloween? No. But that's an interesting idea. I have a lot of stuff on my plate that's happening. I have a few deep dives that many people have suggested. But then, I mean, I can't not think about it. That's a good idea. 420 says, the tube is censoring Tim and you're live. It never pops up in notifications or the top of my subscription page. Keep announcing time before you come on. Every single day, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to go live until 8 o'clock, which is when I will cut, because I always like to cut before the Timcast show. Paper City Gamer Jeff says, hello from Massachusetts. Well, hello there. Thanks for hanging out today. Lucid Dreams says, I rarely mess with Adam when he sleeps. Nice. All right, well, that's my show for the day, everybody. I know it's a little early, but Super Chats are over. My subjects are done. You know, I don't want to press it. I will be going live at 10 o'clock, well, 10-ish, on my Twitch channel, which is Twitch TV /Adam Crigler. Really easy to find me. You can also follow my friend Josh to get an alternate view. He goes by the Fernk, _Fernk, which is FERNK. You can check him out. He needs 50 followers to, achieve the next level of Twitch. So if you can, go follow him. He needs some help. He's at like 30 followers. I'm just trying to help out a homie, So Adam's plate is kind of full right now. Adam's plate says, I'm kind of full right now. I'm loving these super chats from these inanimate objects. It's quite fun. Mark Robinshaw says, Tim never reads my super chats. Oh, that's a shame, Mark. I love reading your super chats. You're consistent and you're always fun. So I will see you tomorrow, unless you tune in tonight, which I will be streaming later, and I'll see you on my channel. If not, I will tune in tomorrow night for my conversation with Control Pew about 3D printed guns and guns in general. We're going to be talking all sorts of guns tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you, everybody, and you have a wonderful night.